Hi guys, so former Labour leader Neil Kinnock appeared on the Trevor Phillips show on Sunday where he had some snarky remarks for Jeremy Corbyn and Zarah Sultana's new political party, the one that they're setting up at the moment to challenge Labour on the left. Now, the former Labour leader also described it as potentially a Farage or reform enabling group, which obviously is going to upset a lot of people. Have a listen.
How serious a threat do you think a Corbyn-led party to the left of Labour is going to be?
Well, I understand they're having a bit of difficulty over thinking up a name. And I, in a comradely way, I'd suggest one. It would be the Farage Assistance Group. Because the reality is, and everybody knows it, a division in the anti-conservative, capital C or small c, anti-right-wing vote can only assist the parties of the right, the Conservatives especially now, and Mrs. Badenoch, and the Farage, the Reform Party. So the splintering, fragmentation offered by a new party of the left, as they say, I've got my doubts about that, but of the left, can only be of assistance to the enemies of Labour, of the working class, the people who have no means of sustaining themselves other than the sale of their labour by hand and by brain, and can only be of benefit to the egos of those who are running such a party. And they haven't decided who should do that yet either.
Okay, so I agree and disagree with Neil Kinnock here. First of all, I agree with under first past the post, the more political parties you have, the more split the vote is. And if there's a growing party on the left, it's going to split the vote on the left, and it's going to help right-wing parties like Reform or the Conservatives. That's the reality of the situation. There's no getting away from that. That's only going to change if you have proportional representation. So Neil Kinnock is correct. If you split the vote on the left, it is going to help Farage. Now, where he's wrong is you can't criticize somebody on the left for setting up a party. Because if they're not happy with the current state of affairs, they have every right to do so. So the responsibility falls on the Labour government to deal with reform. And how do you deal with reform? By improving the situation for ordinary people. So if Labour improve ordinary people's lives, they're less likely to vote for Corbyn and they're less likely to vote for reform. If you improve public services, bring down the NHS waiting list, improve people's lives, if they're asking themselves at the next general election, has my life improved since the new Labour government came in? And their answer is yes, then they're not going to vote for another party. Why would they vote against the incumbent if they're happy with the incumbent? So this is the challenge for Labour. It's not to focus on Corbyn, it's not to focus on reform, it's to focus on rebuilding public services, rebuilding trust with the public, improving their lives and communicating that to them. Because if one thing, as I keep saying, is one thing is improving people's lives, but them not associating that with you. And they have to do that. So whoever is running communications at Labour needs to be fired, needs to be sacked yesterday. New people need to be brought in, people who are able to communicate the message. Farage is not doing anything positive for ordinary people, but he's very good at communicating the idea that he is. So if you are actually doing positive things, if the Labour government is improving people's lives, then surely you would want to communicate that to people. You would want people to know it, so that when they come out and vote, they will vote for you, because you're doing things good for them. Now, is Labour doing good things for people? Well, some are good and some are not so good. And the media is, of course, focusing on the negative. So you need to change that narrative. If you don't create a narrative, somebody else will. And Farage at the moment is setting the narrative. Everyone is obsessed about immigration, small boats, all of this rubbish. The focus should be on public services. The focus should be on the NHS. The focus should be on improving people's lives. Labour need to do that, but they also have to communicate it. If they can, then they will see off a threat, be it on the left or on the right. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.